Welcome to the Haven, the wholesale portal for Deephaven Mortgage. In today's video, we are going to be covering how to lock a loan once it has been submitted. So you want to navigate over to your loan summary screen, and the way that you can check for sure that it has not already been locked is by looking at that origination information. It'll show a lock date and lock expiration date if there was one. Thus being blank, we know that it has not yet been locked. You can also look at the toolbar across the top of the screen, and we can see that unlocked padlock showing at the 7.5%. So just another way to be able to see that it has not yet been locked. We have submitted the loan, and so we are now ready to go ahead and reprice it. Remember, this is a two-step process. So once you do submit the loan, then you will come back in, you'll reprice just to make sure that has not been any pricing changes since the loan was submitted, and then you can go ahead and request that lock. Once you request that lock, you will be getting an email confirmation that the lock has been received. So what's first going to pull up here for us is just an overview of what we had selected previously in terms of the lock information. And so what we're going to do is go ahead and click on price because we do need to reprice it just in case rates may have changed since earlier in the morning when you went ahead and did your loan submission, or even if it was last week. You always have to reprice. So we're going to go ahead and click on price. It's now going to be pulling in our search parameters. Those are going to be grayed out because the loan has been submitted. We can't make structural changes at this point in time. You would need to do a change request. So we're just going to click on that search bar, and then it is going to be showing us all that is eligible or considered ineligible. If you're looking at those 11 and you're like, wow, there's a bunch for expanded prime, non-prime, I know this is expanded prime, and you want to filter the list down, you can go over to your result filter and change it from all programs being shown to specifically the product that you are looking for, in this case, expanded prime. So we'll go ahead and click on that. We'll notice that we have dropped down to just showing those 5 eligible products. So we're good to go that way. We have that it is at 7.5 as we had done before. And so now we'll move over to that far right column where it says actions and scroll down to be able to export your pricing. So just click on that button there. And now it's going to pull that information into session. It is going to show you any of the changes that may have happened. And for our purposes, it's just the timing of when we originally had priced it versus when it was done before. So we'll click confirm. And then the system is going to go out and it's going to be pushing this information into Encompass as well as to our lender price program for pricing. This can take a couple of moments just because, as with anything else, it takes a bit of time to be able to manage through all of the different systems that it does need to be able to filter through. From here, you can now select request lock. And so we'll click on that. It's going to ask us, are we ready to submit a lock request? And we're going to confirm. And then we're going to wait for just a moment here, and then we'll see these price and request lock to also include canceling a lock or also to request an extension if you get to that point in the process. So again, it is going out between the different systems to be able to update that information here. And usually we will be able to get this information pushed back as soon as I stop talking or decide to move to the next screen. It will show up. So another thing to remember, or just to be able to look out for yourself too, is you can refresh that lock history. And at the bottom of your screen, see there we moved. So it of course moved with us. So now we are ready. So we've already repriced it, so we don't need to do that. We can go ahead and cancel a lock. We're all good to go. This is the decision made today. And then there's of course that request for an extension. The other thing to think about too is that under this lock information, you will always be able to see that historical pricing. So whenever you come into the system and price a loan, you'll do that. You'll be able to see that lock history, etc. So we are going to go ahead and refresh our screen. And we're also going to make sure to look back at our summary screen. And in those 2 spots that I showed you to be able to look at the beginning of the call are now coming into focus for us as taken care of and showing that it is locked. So across that top toolbar, you see that it's at 7.5%. and that padlock is securely locked. And so we can see that information. If we want to update and kind of look at a few more things, we can do so, but we're good to go that way. I'm also going to go ahead and click on that loan summary screen one more time and point out at the bottom in that origination info, we do have a lock date as well as a lock expiration date showing. The next step is just to ensure that you do have that email that has come in to the broker and their processor, and you are now good to go, and this loan is locked.